head of extractive industries at the Columbia Center on Sustainable Investment, CCSI, and co-editor of the book Rethinking Investment Incentives, Trends and Policy Options. What we suggest in this volume is that in light of the ever-growing challenges of achieving sustainable development, careful investment policies are crucial to mobilizing public and private resources for improved economic, social, and environmental outcomes. To be sure, this volume is not saying that investment incentives have never any utility. This volume is rather saying that investment incentives may play a useful role if they are strategically designed and if they are based on a robust cost-benefit analysis. Well, we are not there yet. Why? Because as highlighted by the chapters of this book, there are 4 persistent deficiencies in the current use of incentives around the globe. The first deficiency is that there is systematically a lack of transparency in the administration of incentives. Very little is actually known about how many incentives governments are granting, to whom, for how much, and how long, and in exchange for what. We only have anecdotes. The reason for it is that, as James mentioned, most incentive schemes are still discretionary, allowing officials to use investment incentives to secure private gains or powerful allies. This lack of transparency is a missed opportunity because, as Krakow and Steele explain, the transparency of incentives programs and their effectiveness are positively correlated. The second deficiency relates to the fact that most governments do not evaluate the cost or benefits of incentives either ex ante or ex post. Even when cost-benefit analyses are carried out, they leave out important variables. For instance, they are rarely assessed in the context of the public policy objectives of their jurisdiction. They do not take into account the losses suffered in incentives wars. I invite you to read the chapters in part 3 to understand the other complexities and nuances of cost-benefit analysis that should be considered to understand the real impact of incentives. The third deficiency is that incentives are rarely designed strategically to promote particular behaviors in line with sustainable development goals. As my colleagues Bilak and Liebridge mentioned, the majority of incentives programs are designed to influence a company's locational decisions. They are focused on the traditional measures of an investment impact, the capital expenditure incurred, and the number of jobs created. It is time to consider behavioral incentives that are designed not to affect a company's locational choice, but rather to affect its strategic and operational profile. The fourth deficiency is that efforts to promote cross-jurisdictional discipline to halt the race to the bottom are underdeveloped and patchy geographically at best. The pervasive use of tax incentives and the absence of a comprehensive and fully effective global regional framework have led to many cases of pernicious incentives wars at the subnational level, for instance in the US, Canada, Australia, as told by Thomas, or at the global level. So far, the most successful regional legal and policy framework to control incentives competition is that of the European Union. Of course, it doesn't go without challenges and limitations. In fact, the EU's framework illustrates some of the key ingredients for success, such as binding rules and enforcement mechanisms. It also sheds light on some of the challenges that will have to be addressed by other regional or global attempts seeking to similarly regulate incentives. Thank you very much for your attention.